right, so we're here today. The lesson is on how to make kombucha tea in your house. And I have my wonderful helper, Micah, here, who's going to probably show us the mushrooms. You want to do that first, Micah? You want to show us the kombucha mushrooms?
I don't really like to pick them up.
You don't like to pick them up? Because they're kind of slimy, aren't
Yeah.
they? Yeah, they are a little bit slimy. So I'll be brave and pick it up. This is actually the kombucha mushroom, and I want to be delicate with it because it is a living creature. So we want to be nice to it. And you can see it's nice and slimy underneath. There's another one under there. This mushroom is probably about 4 years old, something like that. So the fun thing about kombucha is, and I've just learned this the other day, that's why I'm so excited to show everybody, you can make this just by buying a bottle of GT kombucha drink, drinking about, let's say, 2/3 of the bottle and leaving the other 1/3 just sit out at room temperature for about 10 days to 2 weeks, and it will actually start to grow a mushroom like that. Much smaller, but that's your starter mushroom to make your own kombucha at home. So that's all you need. And then what you do, these ones have been reused many times over the years, so these ones are quite big. They actually look like pancakes, slimy pancakes, huh, Micah?
Mm-hmm.
So what we do when we make the kombucha at home, the first thing we want to do is boil some water, but not to boiling. So you just bring the water up just before boiling, and then you turn the flame off, okay? And just for measurement's sake, we'll say 1 gallon of water. And there's all different recipes to do this, okay? So don't think this is the only way to do it. If you want to check out other ways, you can look online. This is what my friends have told me has worked best for them. They've been making this kombucha at home for 4 or 5 years, so I'd say they have a lot of experience with trying different things. And basically, there's 2 things that the mushroom needs to grow, okay? So the things that we're adding to the water are actually not for the drink itself, but to allow the mushroom to grow. And that is caffeine, number 1, and sugar, number 2. So what we add to the 1 gallon of water is 6 tea bags of green tea and 1 cup of organic white sugar. Okay, now a lot of people might not want to use white sugar, but remember that the mushroom is eating that sugar, so it doesn't really stay in the drink, okay? Am I right with that? Okay, good. Alright, so we add that to this and we let it steep for a few hours, okay? We just let it sit on the stove, no flame, just let it steep. And then we take the tea bags out, the 6 tea bags, and then we just let it cool down to room temperature, however many hours that takes, 6 hours, 8 hours, whatever it is. And once the water is at room temperature, we add it into a big glass jar. Hopefully you can find something like this. It doesn't have to be exactly like this, but it should be glass because apparently the kombucha mushroom doesn't like metal. So whatever you use to ferment your kombucha drink, try to make it glass. Okay, so what we would do is we would add the water, our invisible water, add it into the glass jar, okay? And then we would actually take the mushroom, put it in the jar with some of the fluid from the old batch. So it's important that you add some of the old liquid to keep the fermentation going. Okay, and once you have that all together in your jar with the mushroom, you just put some cheesecloth over it and you let it sit for about 10 to 14 days, okay? And it likes to be in a dark space. So try to keep it away from the sunlight. Just a nice place. You don't want to move it around a lot. The mushroom doesn't like to be moved a lot during the process, so try to keep it still during that time. And after about 10 to 14 days, you'll experiment with that to know how it tastes at different times. You can take the cheesecloth off, take the mushroom out, put it into your container with a little bit of liquid from this batch to add to the mushroom, and then you're ready to put it into jars. So my friends have decided to use these beer jars. They think these work really well. Again, realize that's glass that we're putting it in, so we try to keep with glass. And you would fill up each one of these and then have them filled, not all the way, because remember that this does get under pressure, so if you fill it too high, it'll be too much pressure. So we have those all filled, and then you let these sit out at room temperature for another 3 to 4 days to build up that pressure and to increase the fermentation whatever you want to call it. And then after that, after about 3 or 4 more days of this sitting out, you can put them in the fridge and start to enjoy them, and that's it. That's your own homemade kombucha. So, I mean, the GT kombucha sells for what? About $5 a container. Imagine how much money you could save if you started doing these at home. That's my kombucha talk. Are you ready to touch the mushroom, Micah? Don't want to touch it. Anything else I missed that you want to add? Did I miss anything?
Wow.
How about how good it tastes? You want to tell everyone how good it tastes? You like kombucha drink?
Yep, when it's cold.
When it's cold. You drink it every day?
Yeah, pretty much.
And why do you like it?
I like the taste.
You like the taste?
Yep. So you have one thing missing.
What?
Is if you want to have the taste, you can dip a little, while it's moving it, you can dip a little straw in and then kind of taste it.
Very, very good. Thanks for letting me know that. So what he's saying is if you're not sure how many days you want to keep this fermented, you can put a little straw in it, right? And you can test it. You can drink it yourself and decide, is it sweet enough? Is it whatever, bubbly enough? And then you can let it sit longer if you want, or you can stop it and put it in the jars, right? Thanks for that, Micah.
Yeah.
Anything else?
Nope.
Okay. So with that, we say good luck with your kombucha. Send me an email and let me know how it goes. Thanks, guys.